On with the show now, and many people are concerned about healthcare right now, especially when it comes to the access of medications. And joining us now to explain the situation is none other than the Senior Vice President, Strategy and Growth at S&P Universal Consulting, Brian Raggett. Brian, really appreciate your time, your expertise on a subject you know all too well. Thanks for joining us on the show tonight. Listen, you have seen healthcare networks up close and personal around the world. Goes without saying there are pinch points at the moment, given the mood of uncertainty in a lot of areas, none more so than the supply chain and the logistics networks as well. Give us your sort of one-on-one. How is the UAE, or rather Dubai's healthcare system holding up?
I mean, the first thing I'd say is that healthcare in general is a very stable industry. So rain or shine, people need care, they need health, and it's something that continues on. Dubai's invested strategically for a number of years and enabling care to be provided, and you can see it in the growth that's happened. I've been here in the region for 15 years, and the number of facilities, both public and private, continue to grow and expand. And I would say of all industries, Dubai healthcare is extremely well positioned in that regard.
Yeah.
So there might be this perception that things are going to slow down during uncertain times, but I'm interested to know what is happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, no problem. It's a great question. I mean, with the facilities that I work with, I've seen a large number of facilities that are actually pushing through strategic investments at this point because of the lull in some activity. So a lot of tourists aren't here, right? So some of the healthcare that typically would be provided isn't, but in general, this is an opportunity to reset. It's an opportunity to take a pause, focus on your most important strategic projects, and then there's maybe a bit less noise because you're focused on your aims, your strategic aims. So.
Brian, let's delve deeper into what you just said there. You said it's time for a reset. It's time for optimization. It's that kind of phase. What would this actually look like for the hospitals and the healthcare providers? I
mean, we're seeing a lot of continued activity. Lots of care providers are continuing to deliver, and I mean, there's no pause in that.
So we've seen a rise in telehealth. How do you think that is shaping the way that people access their healthcare today?
I mean, telehealth, ever since COVID, has become an integral part of everyone's health. I'm normally, I'm a telehealth patient myself. Especially in this time, there's certain factors of telehealth that people maybe don't usually access, but for example, mental health, if you need or want, you're needing some reassurance, like it's a great avenue to take. But even for basic primary care, and then as a way to have a quick follow-up as well with your physicians, and throughout the UAE, providers are offering more and more telehealth services, so it's been a great avenue, I would say, across all of the Emirates to enable, I would say, care to continue without any interruption. So.
Amazing, great.
Brian, I just want to quickly go back to what you were talking about earlier, how there's data sharing across Emirates, across hospitals. I mean, I think that's a great thing, but for everybody watching, do you want to explain how that actually improves patient care?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the analogy I always like to use is, it's interesting how you can go with your bank card and you can go anywhere in the world, and you go to an ATM in Cambodia, for example, and I can get all of my finance information. In healthcare, it's not that simple. The information's more complicated, but what's happened in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi and other geographies is they've enabled a sharing of data, so there basically is a central backbone where we're pulling data down from facilities, and then let's say I go to a different care provider, they can pull up and call my data. And the way that enables me as a patient to receive care is it's enabling me to not have to repeat my history from start to finish every time I see a provider, even if, let's say, my doctor changed facilities from one care provider to the next. So it just facilitates a faster provision of care, and also a more complete picture, because if you're the provider that's delivering that care, you want to make sure you have that patient's full history, all their information, and I don't always remember everything, and you might feel the same way.
Absolutely.
If there's one word that seems to sum up just how industries across the board are reacting at the moment, is this word resilience. And none more so than when it comes to healthcare and healthcare providers. You've just spoken of that in terms of, you can't think of a facility that's not providing the healthcare that they were in February of this year. Why is that so? Why are we so resilient here? Not just in industry in general, but more specifically in healthcare.
I mean, healthcare is designed for the long term.
Yep.
The facilities, the caregivers, it's all long-term derived. The systems are designed to continue, rain or shine, in sickness and health. And so, in that way, it's just the system doing its job. It's the way that the system's been set up. The regulators here have been extremely, I would say, strategic in the way that they've planned for things like what's happening or the situation that's going on today. So we're very much in the sweet spot of what good planning looks like. And I would say, compliment the authorities here for the good job that they've done. That extends not only in the private sector, but also the public public sector.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So looking ahead, what gives you confidence that the healthcare sector will continue to evolve and grow?
I mean, it's the people. I mean, you go in a healthcare facility today, people are coming together, they're working together, they understand the situation, and they know that health is probably one of the most important things, physically, mentally, and just coming together as people enables us to be resilient, like you just mentioned. So.